So, welcome to day 2 of the 4-day challenge. Yesterday, we went over one of the true greatest resources that we have and the ways that we actually demonstrate on a daily basis the things that are most important to us, which was money. Arguably, the one that we're going to go through today is even more important because money is infinite, but time you will never get back. So how you spend your time is so important to make sure that you're not wasting it, but also to make sure that you are spending it on things that you are choosing rather than things that you feel obligated to do or things that you just feel, that's just what everyone does. So, or even the worst thing is, I'm just doing this because I'm trying to waste some time in between meetings. You never want to waste time. And again, there's no judgment there, but these are just a lot of the ways that we're spending our time, but we're not really consciously making that choice. It's like the choice is making us, which can be a very disempowering feeling. Now, what we'll do now is we'll start to really flush out some of those time thieves. Okay, similar process to yesterday, and there's a 7-step process that we're just going to go through now. Okay. Now again, this can be a little bit confronting, just to kind of like look back at the past and have it kind of looking back at you, and it can be uncomfortable to look at these things, but I just really want to support you, to help you to lean into these things so that you can grow, so that you can take responsibility, so that you can get more of what you want out of life, rather than kind of giving into our urge to run away or to leave when things feel a bit uncomfortable. Okay, so step 1 is open your Outlook, open your calendar, open your Google, however it is that even your written diary. Some people still use a written diary. And it's just however you keep track of your appointments and keep track of where your time goes. Now, step number 2. Now, I want you to have a look, very similar to the process we did with money yesterday. Look at how you spent your time over the past 3 months. Okay, just really start to look at all the appointments that you might have in a week. If you have nothing written down, some people might not have anything written down. Just start to think about where your time went in previous weeks. And step 3, again, like similar to the money, we want to start to make a list, and we want to start to group those appointments, group those meetings, group all of those different ways that we're spending time into 3 separate categories. And again, very similar to the money, it might be business, it might be family, there might be things that are, you've got to go to appointments to upkeep for the home, which again would fall into that kind of safety, security, stability kind of category. Again, whatever most resonates for you, just looking at how you spent your time, what 3 categories do you feel like these things fall into most? Now, step 4. I want you to ask yourself again, what basic human need is this particular category fulfilling for me? So again, we want to try and get those values really down pat. And it might be similar to the money. Like, don't feel like it has to be separate. But also don't feel like it has to be the same either. Just see what words most resonate for you. Is it security? Is it safety? Again, it might be comfort. You might be spending a lot of time on holidays. You might be spending a lot of time with friends. You might be spending a lot of time just doing things. And maybe there's like wanting to get away from kind of normal life. So that's kind of the comfort. It's almost like a wanting to seek comfort to avoid some of the harder things or some of the more uncomfortable things. Or it could be growth. You could be in business for most of your day, and then you're straight into a course. You're reading books to and from work. Like there's all of these different categories that it could be falling into. Okay, so again, we just want to get kind of those 3 categories, and from those 3 categories, we really want to derive, what is the basic human need that this is fulfilling, just to get those real kind of deep core values. Now, step number 5. Again, we want to ask ourselves, like I think so often, and especially if it's something that we get in a habit of doing, is that we stop asking the question, is this thing serving me? Is this how I want to be spending my money? Or is this just a pattern that I've just fallen into over time, and I'm continuing to do it even though it may not be serving me, helping me, moving me in the right direction? So that's the first question. And second question, do I feel obligated, or are these things that just tend to happen by themselves? So it's just trying to, like, rather than habitually doing these things, it's really just trying to wake ourselves up and just asking the question, is this still serving me? Now, step number 6. I want you to go back another 3 months. So again, similar to what we did with the money yesterday, I know that you probably got the idea, but we really want to like drive this home just to really like make sure that this makes sense and make sure that it's really starting to shake the tree and help you see some insights. You probably had some things come up already in terms of how you're spending your time that maybe you're not happy with. Maybe you're starting to see some things that maybe there's a bit of frustration. It's like, you know, people make you feel obligated to do something. So it's like, that brings up a lot of frustration, which is good because stress, pressure, tension, conflict, these are all good things because they're all agents of change. So we want to feel that stuff in there, which can be, again, it can be a bit uncomfortable, but it's when we know these things, that's when we can start to change them. Okay? Now, with this previous 3 months, you know, look, is it any different to how you spend the past 3 months? So if you're looking back at 3 months now, and then another 3 months before that, is there any change here? So what I want to see there is, you know, is this kind of your habitual behavior? And maybe it's even the same from a year before that. Or, you know, is the past 3 months, is it a little bit different? How is it different? Very few people actually change that much. We think we change a lot, but if we actually look at our behavior over a long period of time, it's really consistent. This is just to get a bit of a feel for, you know, how long you've been spending your time this way, and if there's anything that you're not exactly happy with, this is that time to like think like, I've been doing this for a year, like, and I'm not happy. It's time for a change, and that's just what we want to find here. Okay. Step number 7. So again, similar to yesterday, we want to fast forward 10 years into the future and just ask ourselves, and this is as much, as I said, like as much a thinking process as it is a feeling process. You really want to feel what's coming up for you here. 10 years from now, looking back, would I still be happy if I continued spending my time, one of the most precious resources that I have that I will never be able to get back, if I look back and ask myself, am I happy with the way that I spent my time, both on the individual things, but also in the categories of things, like whether it's safety, security, excitement, fun, comfort, excitement, growth, all of those things. Would I be happy with how I spent my time? Would I have any regrets? Would I be proud? Would I have fond memories? And again, it's really just asking yourself the question rather than being in these habitual ways of how we do things where we're just kind of going through the motions every day, pulling ourselves out of that, giving ourselves a bit of a shake to wake up and just asking ourselves, is this still how we want to live our lives? Is this serving us? Is this going to get us to where we want to go? Because time and money, they can be some of our biggest reasons for not having what we want, for feeling stuck, for feeling out of control, is because we put our control in things outside of us. Okay, so really just asking those questions, and you probably had some things come up for you already, some insights, some things where, you know, you're seeing you spent an X amount of time every single week on one particular thing that you're just like, why am I doing that? And again, this is really good, and it's, you know, it is that tension, that pressure, that stress, the conflict, like those things. We really just want to use that to help us make the changes that we really want to make in life. Okay, to create the kind of life that we want. That's a good thing. If it's a bit uncomfortable, it's a good thing. We're on the right track. Okay, so again, like money, time and money is how we demonstrate the things that are most important to us in life. Now, these may also, you may have 3 to 6 different categories now. So, however, 3 from money, our exercise yesterday, and potentially 3, or maybe you've doubled up. Maybe some of the ones from today fit in similar categories from yesterday. So you may have 3 to 6 different categories of how you're spending your time and money. Now, this is how you are currently living. So these represent your survival needs. Like, these are your survival core values that you're actually demonstrating on a daily basis. Other people have values, say for example, like power, control, achievement, success, like these sort of things, but they may not actually be achieving, or they may not have any of these things in their current day-to-day life. So they're more aspirational values. What we're looking at here is these are your kind of black and white. It's your history. It's what you are consistently doing right now. These are your values that you're living by right now. We're going to look at some of the more aspirational stuff in time to come. We're going to start pulling all of these things together. There will be a little bit of a reveal, but I wanted just to break this down into some really simple, clear exercises that we could do. It's going to help you change the way that you think, change the way that you feel, and change your behavior, so that when you look at how you spend your time, you won't be thinking, oh, I shouldn't do that because that's not in line with what Aaron told me I should do. And again, it's not about me telling you what to do or what should be important to you. It's about you getting to ask that question yourself, so that the changes you make are actually changes that you want to make, rather than ones that you feel like you should be making. Okay, so we've done a lot in the past 2 days. I hope there's been some insights that have been coming up for you. I'm sure that there have been, and there's still more to come. So again, just taking everything that you've learned yesterday from the money, today from the time, and just really just bringing that up and just starting to think, okay, what kind of changes could I be making in my life? Where could I be taking back more control and more responsibility, rather than giving the power over what happens in my life to the outside world? And again, we have the power to change anything that we take personal responsibility for. That's a really powerful thing. So again, great work today. Thank you for your time and effort and energy. It will pay off for you. And we'll go again tomorrow for day 3. Okay? Look forward to seeing you there. And yeah, just see what thoughts and feelings come up for you in between now and then. I guess. Thank you.